So we have a diverse panel. Mr. Satish Kumar Divansi, CISO, Kreditbee. And we have Mr. Shaik Ahmed, Head India Lenovo Security Solutions. Mr. Sebastian, CEO, Exatron. Mr. Pradeepta Mishra, Chief Architect, Data Safeguard. So I want to request one lady panelist, Dr. Lopa Mudraa, Basuu. Welcome, Lopa. So we have chosen the panelists from the diverse field. You see, today the hot topic is the fintech. We have Satish, and we have Mr. Shaik Ahmed. He's from the everybody knows Lenovo. No need introduction there into hardware. PC, desktop, laptop, server, storage, and many of you don't know they are also into security. We will uncover it. Mr. Tom is the Make in India expert, and for your information, they make everything what you want as a Make in India. From desktop to all-in-one, server, and storage. Whatever type of storage you require, they can provide you. And Pradeepta is a subject matter expert in the data privacy. Whole world is talking about data privacy. He has designed privacy by design and the chief architect of data safeguard. And we have Dr. Lopa. She is from the EdTech sector. Welcome all. So the topic what we have is technology redefining the boundaries. I'll just give an intro why we have chosen the topic. Technology is no longer just a tool. It is a catalyst for change. It is revolutionizing industries, transforming societies, and redefining way we live, work, and interact. From AI and ML to blockchain and IoT, technology advances are reshaping the world at an unprecedented pace. On this backdrop, we'll start the question, what emerging technologies do you believe will most significantly reshape the industry in the next year? So I will start with Mr. Tom. I think everyone can take maximum 2 minutes to explain the things. Can I start with you, Tom?
Thanks, Dr. Deepak, for this opportunity.
So what emerging technologies do you believe will most significantly reshape the industry in the next year?
For the next year and for the years to come, I'm sure all of us will have one answer without any doubt, that will be AI. So when we talk about AI, AI was something like a fiction once upon a time. From there it went to the specialist hands. Now today it is into the user hands. All of us use AI knowingly or unknowingly in our day-to-day life today. And I'm sure the years ahead, one side it will be growing fast, on the other side it will be penetrating also with the equal speed down the line in the common man's life. It can be in the manufacturing, it can be in the education sector, it can be in the fintech, healthcare, mobility. Wherever humans are there, there is a possibility for the AI. And that's the place where the entire growth is going to happen in the coming years.
Wonderful. Pradeep, you want to add something?
Hello. Yeah. Thank you. So as Tom has said, the AI. So yesterday, Satya Nadella, Microsoft CEO, had said that the next year is going to be the AI agents year. What is AI agents? These are automated programs which are designed to sense the environment, take decisions, and help us making decisions faster. So a small example. Let's take, I have a couple of PDF files. I would like to understand what is there in this file. Or probably I have to spend 1 hour or 2 hours to understand and read, then make a conclusion what is there. Now today, with the help of Copilot, I think Nishchay was showing Copilot, right? So with the help of Copilot, you can upload those PDFs. You can ask, okay, quickly summarize this, what is there for me? Now this is a small example of an agent. Now the 2025 is going to be the year of agents, the AI agents. And these agents are going to be integrated in each and every endpoint. It could be the CCTV cameras, it could be the routers, it could be the laptops, it could be anywhere wherever there is connectivity and information, and wherever there is an exchange of information, you will find those agents, those automated agents. These agents are designed to take decisions faster, help us in automating certain rudimentary tasks or redundant tasks, and we can focus more on meaningful tasks. And many companies, they are going to develop these AI agents today. So today, if you look at a couple of platforms are available, but there will be a lot more such platforms that will come out in 2025, and those agents will grow in numbers.
Good, Pradeep. So I am sure, Sec, Ahmed, you also want to add something?
Yeah. First of all, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Sahu, for the opportunity, and VARINDIA for providing this platform for all of us to share the knowledge and the thoughts. Just now we have seen one of the esteemed speaker has mentioned that we access only 0.00001% of the internet. So there is a huge amounts of data which is generated actually. And even if you see from a other perspective, like I say, securing the data perspective, 80% of any incidents, cyber incidents, are related to data. And out of this 80%, 93% are exactly data breaches. So the amounts, the bundles of data generated, we have artificial intelligence and machine learning popping up around the world. And we are generating tons and tons of data nowadays. So in the next 1 year, already we have the artificial intelligence. The responsible usage of the artificial intelligence is going to be the key aspect. And securing the generated data is going to be one of the key focus areas from a security perspective, especially from a data privacy perspective, is going to be the, utmost importance for the organizations. So either we manage it or we outsource it, somebody to manage it is going to be the decision the cyber leaders are going to have in the next couple of, quarters to come. The reason behind is the amounts of data the organizations are playing around is unmanageable. And the, trillions of bytes of data which is generated through various, just now we have seen from other speaker, how many kinds of devices they can manage. Means these devices are generating data. And these are related to one organization. So how do you manage it? The organization need to create a separate industry under the CISO to manage them. So it's better, majority of the organizations are taking a tricky decision either to manage internally or to outsource it. These three things. One is data privacy focus. Second one, responsible AI. And third one is have a critical decision taken either to manage it or to outsource the security management would be the key focus areas.
Wonderful. Just now when we talk about emerging technology, people they jump into fintech. Let's hear from Satish, how he is seeing.
No, see, fintechs and NBFCs have been already embracing a lot of these technologies, and the talk of the town is AI. So definitely AI has been there and for a while. If you look at most of the fintechs, NBFCs, the underlying, I come from a typical digital lending platform where the whole underwriting happens by using AI. And prior to that, in fact, if you look at any payment gateways so they all have embedded a lot of risk engines. In fact, risk engine runs purely based on certain models. In fact, I think most of us, we use card and other digital channels where there's a lot of anti-fraud solutions and all which are built using AI. So AI has been there. I think the whole buzz is all about Gen AI now, right? See, AI is not new. In fact, AI has been there for more than a decade now. But predominantly, I think there's a lot of noise because of that Gen AI. I think the whole OpenAI has really opened up the whole thing. But the point is how enterprises are embracing this OpenAI kind of a ChatGPT kind of a things. And but we are also seeing a lot of concerns around. Shaik spoken about data. Data governance is important, and we should have a lot of guardrails. Otherwise, there have been organizations who are also, while AI, the ChatGPT, and they give a lot of benefits, but then there are a lot of other risks also. In fact, especially responsible use of them and having the right guardrails. That's the next. I believe, 25 is going to be a big. While corporations will use a lot of these kind of solutions, but equally the CISOs will have a tough time to ensure that there are enough guardrails to ensure that these exposures are limited.
I know that year 2025 will be the amazing year. There are a lot of new technologies are coming. We have to get ready for that. So moving ahead, what role does experimentation and risk-taking play in redefining technological limits in the organization? So Lopa, I will start with.
Good evening, friends. Thank you, Dr. Sahu, for inviting me and enabling a platform to connect with all elite audience here. Now, when it is coming to the risk-taking capability, today, whatever the technology we are using, all are very sophisticated as well as complicated. The more sophisticated is the technology, it's more complicated. And one thing is very clear that every technology is having the inherent risks. But today, it is also evident that all business are driven by technology. There is a huge difficulty to find out a business today which is not actually using any technology. So considering that, as first as organization is able to adopt the technology, they are going to get the competitive advantage. But what is important to understand the risks associated with the technology, striking a balance between risk appetite of the organization and the technology risks. When we look at the risks, there are different angles of technology risks. Certain risks is that particular technology actually imposing on the organization. Apart from that, there is operational risks. There is risks related to compliance, regulation. So, and again, inherent technology risks. So striking the balance between the business need, business goal, and what business trying to achieve out of that technology. What is the core business? Every technology may not be required for the business to adopt. It is very important which business you are in and accordingly design. And organization should have a proper risk management framework. It is very important the way they have a very nice risk management framework to handle the risks related to financial aspect, operational aspect. Similar way, they must have a proper framework, or the risks related to new technologies and the technologies should be integrated part of that, strike a balance and manage the risks effectively and have a capability developed to capture the risks when and where it is coming from. For example, if we look at AI, today everybody is actually adopting the AI, but AI is having a very peculiar risks which are very inherent, like bias, technology capability overestimation. It's a complete dual shroud. So we need to balance and accordingly take that up.
Good, great, Lopa. Pradeep, you want to add something?
Right. So experimentation plays a very big role, I would say. Now let's look at these AI agents or the Gen AI or the large language models that we are looking at today. If you don't do experimentation, so for example, like you want to take certain decisions based on, let's take, there's a spend pattern. Like for example, you have a bank statement for 6 months or 1 year. You'd like to understand what are the opportunities where I can reduce my expenses. As a human being, we may not be able to think that, okay, the AI can analyze my spending patterns and suggest me, okay, these are the possible areas where you can cut down the expenses. As a human being, we may fail, but if I provide that statement to either Copilot or ChatGPT or Olama, I can find opportunities where I can cut down my expenses. That's just one small tiny example. So like this, these things we will get to know when we experiment. So experimentation plays a very important role in understanding the capabilities or the possibilities around new technology. The new technologies are, as I said, it's large language models and the AI agents. Those AI agents are designed to automate massive amount of redundant tasks and giving us flexibilities, giving us opportunities to focus something more, something important. That's why experimentation is important, and everybody should be doing experiments around these large language models.
Right. So, Tom, you want to add what Pradeep has said?
Yeah, for us, when we talk about Exatron, or the company what I represent, when I talk about the experimenting and risk-taking, the picture is entirely different. We are the people who started a business during COVID time in a vertical which is matured, that is IT hardware business, and lead managed by a set of global players like Shaik, Lenovo, and Dell, HP, name it. All the global leaders were in India at that time. We went into that business. So we had a lot of pressure, first to run all the distance which they were running for the last few decades, then reach along with them, shoulder to shoulder, and run for some time, and try to overtake. With all this, with a very minimal structure what we have compared to them. So risk-taking and experimenting is a day-to-day affair for us to do. How to do this? Because at the end of the day, if you want to push through and achieve anything which are beyond the normal, and in all these phases, as I told you, to run behind and reach to them, then to overtake them, all are beyond normal what we are trying to do. To achieve that, the only way is risk-taking and experimenting. Why? Through that only we will be able to do innovation. What to do with the innovation in our type of business? First, we try to make the same products what they were making. Can we make it in the same way they were doing? We cannot. We need to do in a different way so that we will be able to fasten up and reach with them. Then we need to identify some products which are better than what they make to survive in the industry, to win in the industry. So innovation in every aspect of our transactions we used to do. How to do the innovations in a startup with the shoestring budget? It's only by risk-taking and experimenting, enabling the people to take the risk calculated way and experiment the things. And let me tell you, whenever you do the experimentations, out of the 100, 50 will fail. But that 50 will give you an amount of information and knowledge and skill which will help you to grow and overdo what you want to do. We always support people to do this thing because this will help the team to get the best skill required to be in a startup, nothing but resilience. The ability to fail successfully. I'll coin it in that way. What is resilience in our kind of business? The ability to fail successfully. When you fail and you somehow survive, or you somehow mitigated the outcome of the failure, you have survived. If you learn how you failed, what are the reasons of the failure, then it's a no-loss game. And I'm telling you, if you are fixing the reasons and finding the ways to come out of this failure and to ensure that you will not repeat it, then failure itself is a profit.
Wonderful.
So that's how we enable our guys. So when we get new guys joining our team, I'm happy to see a lot of young guys joining our team from the polytechnics and all in the factory. I used to tell them, when you get inside the factory, remove your fears and anxiety and start wearing your cautiousness. Be cautious and be curious. So cautiously taking risk, cautiously doing experimentation, that is a way of life in our organization.
Wonderful. Thanks. So, Tom, so what I would say, it is all about it is reshaping the future of computing industries. So I expect top tech companies, including Microsoft, to unveil the next-gen tradition on AI and consumer computing. It is what required. Recently, the CES, what is happening in the US, they are all talking about the consumer computing. So we have to go to the next. We have to understand what a consumer requires. I may get the best product of the world, but it is suited to the consumer. That what it has to be there. Personalization, what we call it. So moving ahead, let's talk about the cybersecurity front. As cyber threat becomes increasingly sophisticated, what are the most pressing security challenges you face? Let's start with Satish. You are into the very dynamic industry, so that's why I'm taking the question from you.
Absolutely. Cyber risk is one of the
Yes,
top
please.
risk today for every, in fact, every business today. The cyber risk is one of the top risk, and
Yep.
especially with the growing sophistication of, I think we are talking a lot of technologies today, especially cyber threats are increasing. Now it's not AI is being used only by us, even the bad guys are also using more AI than us. So we are seeing a lot of sophistication in the cyber attacks, a lot of advanced persistent threats today. The threat actors have really gone much faster, so it's becoming very difficult for the enterprise to, in fact, keep pace with those growing threats. I'm sure all of you keep hearing a lot of ransomware attacks. So ransomware has become very common. In fact, enterprises are really struggling to see how they can, in fact, be resilient, because it's not that, so it's not about whether we will get attacked, it's about when. I think the point is about whether we will or not, because while proactively cybersecurity practitioners put a lot of controls, risk management is done, but equally enterprises, because there's so much dependent on technology today, especially with embracing cloud and so many other ways of embracing technology, it's important to also ensure that the cyber threats are predicted well on time. In fact, faster detection, faster response is becoming more important. The CISOs have a tough, in fact, time to, and on top of that, I come from a highly regulated space. I think the previous speaker spoke about SEBI. Similarly, RBI, SEBI, IRDA comes out with a lot of frameworks, especially, and being compliant is not a choice, it's a mandate, otherwise business cannot exist. So cybersecurity has become one of the top business risks today with growing threats, and it's a continuous evolution, so it's a catch-up game, and it is a continuous process of managing risk and equally being more resilient.
You're right. So let's hear from Shaik.
Thank you, Satish. Majorly, more than the, the need, nowadays the organizations are more enthused to adopt the new technologies, just to be in the competition race actually. So majorly, they are, the more we adopt the technologies, we are opening up the gates actually, increasing the threat attack surface. So one of the focus areas for the CISOs in the next 1 year to be having control over the third parties. So the more the vendors, the more the attack surfaces are increasing, we need to be building a more resilient framework to keep the threats into the containment actually. And on top of it, the organizations are adapting the technologies without any clues. For example, how many of us really required artificial intelligence ingested PC? How many of us, most probably we purchase devices for the fancy sake, rather than real use of need of the usage inside the organization or for a personal use. Why we required 1 gig, 200 to 300 MPs megapixel camera? Not required. We are not professional cameramen, but it comes with lot of increased attack surface, and we are giving way to the the attackers by opening the gates. And on top of it, the more focus for the CISOs need to collaborate the vendors and go for a single vendor kind of a concept by reducing the third party risk actually. And in terms of the running the organization and changing the organization, the more focus need to be from a risk perspective for running the organization, and control based the approach on the changing the organization. That way we can again control contain the unknown threats by building a resilient framework. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're right. So now we move to the last question. So this is a question where you have to respond in one sentence. Let's start. How is people are responding it? How do you ensure that boundary of phishing technological advancement remain relevant and beneficial to end users? Start with Lopa. You can use, you have a loud voice, but still you can use the mic.
So, first of all, we need to understand that. Could you please repeat the question?
How do you ensure that boundary pushing technological advancement remain relevant and beneficial to end users?
So, it is always, what business you are in. You need to ensure you are adopting the technology accordingly. understand the threat surface around that and manage the threat very effectively and have a proper governance
Wonderful.
framework to monitor.
Pradeep.
I think business runs on logic. So logic is something that as a human being, we invent, reinvent, again, we fall back and again reinvent. When this logic goes to a computer program, that becomes so powerful. I think that's why it's necessary to keep pushing the boundaries of the intelligence and the human capabilities.
See, while we are embracing a lot of technology, in fact, there are a lot of risks also, and the weakest link is human. In fact, a lot of awareness has to be created among users also to ensure that they embrace the technology.
Change management approach need to be very critically defined inside the organization before adopting any new change or new technology inside the organization. So decisions need to be like, as a esteemed co-panelist mentioned, it need to be logic based. But majorly, like I see, businesses rush beyond the fancies of adopting the technologies rather than the logic actually. Just to be like being in the, like for whatever the example, like I have a ABC product, like I wanted to add AI word to it, just adapting and bringing the new fancy to that one. So logic based approach and clear cut governance around the change need to be critical actually, and rather than like just running across the terminology.
Being the last person in the row, let me summarize. So I will put it in this way. We always used to tell that need is always the mother of invention. I will say you should ensure need should be the mother of invention. Otherwise, what happens, inventions happens for something else and it will not be used properly. So if the thumb rule is that need is the mother of invention and inventions are having a clear-cut need behind, then all your inventions, all your products, all your whatever you get into the market will be utilized fully. This needs a lot of communication with the customer.
And playing ground with both fear and hope. Tech is being adopted to this undercurrent with perfection. A sharp decrease has been reported in Bangalore in the OTP scam. It was 1860 in 2022, 1334 in 2023, and saw a sharp decline further in 893 in 2024 till November. This is a report. Recording a decline by 51.98% from 2020 to 2024. In a similar manner, phishing also seems to be on the way out. It fell from 605 in 2022 to 193 only in 2024. We saw unbelievable decline of 68.09%, while there has been an exponential increase in cybercrime. The money generated out of this do not match in any manner with the new greener pastures. The cyber crook have laid their hands on. Thank you very much for joining channel. We should be proud of, we are the Bangaloreans.
Thank you, Dr. Sahu. You increase our spirits actually.
This is the real, the tech capital of the country. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that amazing discussion.
We'd like to thank our panelists and our moderator.